Hi, this is Lisa Rango with Chameleon Resumes, the premier executive resume writing company. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I want to ask you, is your LinkedIn profile post-pandemic ready? We are about to embark upon an expansion that we haven't seen since World War II, roughly early 1940s, early to mid 1940s. World Bank just recently came out with that they are predicting one of the biggest expansions of the world economy by 5.6%, and that is the highest that prediction has been since 80 years ago. So there's going to be a boom, most likely, and I want to make sure that you're ready. And I think that this is an amazing, once-in-a-generational opportunity where you can start to level up your skills, level up your compensation, make sure your job is making you happy and is interesting. Then this is an amazing time to make sure that you have that ready. And one of the things that you can do is make sure your LinkedIn profile is post-pandemic ready for this boom that we're about to have, because you want to be able to be found. In addition to, as you start to actively look, when you reach out to someone to network with, or you send your resume to a contact, they're going to go back to the internet and Google your name, and your profile, your LinkedIn profile will be one of those items that comes up, or they'll just be in LinkedIn to begin with from the app on their phone, and they'll pop your name into the LinkedIn app, and you want that profile that they find of you to be modern, to be contemporary, to be addressing the wins and the struggles that you experienced in the pandemic, and outlining how you made it through and the wins that you did have during the pandemic. So you want to make sure that your content is contemporary, it's modern, it's even if you did it last year, it's a year later. You need to be able to make sure that you're conveying that you had wins or lessons learned during this time, and have that reflected in your LinkedIn profile. So how do you do that? Great question. So one way to do that is to convey your leadership story. Your leadership story, again, sort of touches upon different aspects of how you led your team, your division or department of your organization through the pandemic this past year. And there's 4 ways that you can do that, but I want to focus on one key way. One key way that you can articulate the wins that you had on your profile. Include this in your summary, include this in the employment sections from last year that reflect last year's experience. How did you manage your people? How did you retain individuals? How did you compassionately deal with having to exit certain employees, whether it was a layoff or a furlough? Show how you handled yourself and your team in that period. So that's one way to do it. And there's 3 other ways that I talk about how you can convey your leadership story in my next free LinkedIn training, which you can join down in the description below, and we'll outline the other 3 ways you can tell your leadership story, as well as a few other ways that you can update your profile to make sure that it is post-pandemic boom ready, and what you should be doing on LinkedIn to make sure you're maximizing those views, because when you maximize views, you maximize the reach outs for interviews, and you have more interviews. So make sure you sign up for my next training. Again, in the description below, you'll be able to register. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at lr@chameleonresumes.com, or comment below, because I read and reply to every email and every comment. If you like this video, I'm going to ask you to like it. If you know someone that can benefit from this information to update their LinkedIn profile, I'm going to ask you to share it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because this way you won't miss next week's video. So thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you on the training. Have a great day.